Hello. Okay, so this is a demo I've been meaning to get to for a while. I just didn't get to it. I backed it on Kickstarter. I'm excited for it. I think I backed like four games on Kickstarter. This is too bright, by the way. This it's too bright, so I have my Steam page up and the OBS down. It's just too bright. I'll have to click on it soon, but yeah, I'm excited for the game. I'm excited for all the games I have backed. Actually, I wanna look at them. Do I really need to log in? Shouldn't I already be logged in? No, okay. This is also too bright. So 1, 2, 3, 4, yes I have. So I have backed Peachleaf Valley. That was the first one I did. Then I did this one. And then I did Touch Starved. And then Heart Cage. Those are the 4 I have backed. If you ever have a otome game that is on Kickstarter that you think is going to be really good, please let me know and I will try and back it. You know, there's only a certain amount of time that you can back it in, but it's always nice getting like finding out about them really early on and then being able to back them, and then you just get the key when it comes out. It's magical. Anyway, I'm really looking forward to this one. I hope it holds up. I don't know pretty much anything about it, and if I did know anything about it, I've forgotten about it. So let's go. Oh, the bright light. New game. Okay. Let me bring my OBS back up. All right. Always Valkii. No second name, which is interesting. Was this the one where we died? Yeah. And then come back. It was the day of my execution. The footsteps down the hallway came closer towards my cell. I had already been given my final meal, so this could mean only one thing. Ah, that time has come already. Public executions were rare, though the gruesome affairs had once entertained the masses in the past, no longer were they welcomed. Or so I thought. Perhaps I was a special exception. Since I was a woman, that was particularly loathsome, especially despicable. At least, that is what I've led everyone to believe, unintentionally or otherwise. I had been the target of much hatred even before I laid claim to the ruthless deeds that had left this town torn apart. To be fair, they saw me as the culprit, and all of this was deserved. I can't say my hands were entirely clean, either. Even if I did not turn myself in, though, the result mayhaps would have been the same. At least this way I could... Miss Valkii. The guard greeted me grimly, one of the few people that still treated me respectfully, my one friend here. By the way, so pretty. This MC is so pretty. I thought he would pretend to not know me, but he was the one to ask what I wished for my last meal. We often bantered with each other in town, or what this town was before.
It's the perfect day for a beheading, don't you think?
There's voice acting. I don't like my MCs to be voice acted though. Can I turn it off? I like everyone else to be... Can I turn her off? Oh, I think I can. I'm sorry, I do not like my main characters to be voiced. I'm sorry. I'm not saying I do a better job, but I don't generally like my main characters to be voiced. Because I like to be in the moment. I self-insert to an extent, okay? And if they have a voice, it makes it harder. Like, even in Japanese otomes, I will probably turn down the MC's voice if they have one, which they rarely do, because they know people self-insert. But it's nice to have the option, I think. Miss. I hoped the trash they would throw at me wouldn't smell too bad.
Miss Aina, it's time to go.
That's also bad. Or is that our second name? No, because it says Miss Valkii. It shouldn't have the wrong name, right? Unless I'm missing something. His countenance was supposed to be smooth, but pity and resignation were etched in the way his eyebrows furrowed and mouth sagged. He was young, only 17. Why did they give such a task to someone so young? Disgust, hatred, happiness. For those who did like me, their eyebrows did not crease, as if expecting this very outcome. The few who did not despise me hated the path I walked on. And those who did were full of glee, the ones that were still alive, anyway. I've seen those eyes countless times in the past year, as they warned me to keep my head down and keep quiet. Countless warnings I did not heed. Just look straight ahead, miss. You're a little too young for this, aren't you? I can't imagine she's always voiced, actually. Especially for a demo. Should I check? I want to check that. I know this is so annoying.
You're not much older.
What do you mean? I got a whole 4 years on you. I'm an adult.
While I tried to lighten the mood, despite the very morbid end that was awaiting me, the crowd's whispers turned to jeers. Filthy bitch.
You've brought nothing but doom to this town.
I was pelted by what smelled like rotten food. Despite the urge to heave, I maintained my countenance to remain the calmest it could ever be. I wanted to keep my dignity to the end, whatever was left of it. There wasn't much food to throw since we had cut the supply routes.
Ouch!
I don't like it. I'm sorry, I don't like it. So they threw rocks instead.
Hey, one scratch gets on us and you'll be in the jail next.
Next, huh? I smiled and I could see him wince.
Sorry.
He whispered to me in a hush. It's alright, you're not wrong. You're really defending a traitor like her.
I'm next to her, you idiot.
This was necessary, I told myself. It was what I signed up for. It was for the sake of the nation. It would eventually pay off, even if I would not be around to witness it. No matter how calm I tried to be, though, I could not control the lurching in my stomach. I knew this would come, but I was terrified to the core. Death was coming, yet I still could not fathom that I would be gone in just a short while. But more than that, I longed for what I would be leaving behind. My family, my favorite bread, fresh from the bakery. The way that that's put down there, the way that that's it's implies that her favorite bread is her family. Should be my family dot. My favorite bread, fresh from the bakery, crispy and fluffy. I could never taste it again. But maybe I'm wrong in the family. The bread is her family, but yeah, that's not how I would have put it. The bread is separate from family. They're two different things. They should be in two different sentences, right? Am I crazy? After everything, why is thinking about bread bringing me to tears? Maybe it is her family. My last moments on Earth, and my mouth is watering. I asked for one last loaf for my final meal, but the flavor was not what it had always been. I tried to remember the taste I once cherished, but better than the bread was the people that I shared it with. So that's why my heart hurt so. The guard brought me to a sharp halt. I thought my execution would be done in the middle of town. Despite the burnt, indistinct rubble, I knew exactly where this was. A cruel estate that was the source of all troubles. Of course, they met their demise. He made sure of it, and it was why I was here. His sins were greater than my own, but if he was the one that forged the path, I was the one who paved it. I laughed as I looked up at the burning sky. Someone thought this was the perfect place for me to die. Would my grave be here as well? Or would they even bother burying my body at all? I'm sorry. His voice was barely a whisper. I shook my head. There was nothing he could have done. Thank you for being with me at the end. At least my death wouldn't be a lonely one. Someone covered my head with a sack, a final mercy. I didn't have to look at the blade. That would take my life. I hope Felix can have some bread tonight. I pray that it is warm. I hope you will carry on our work and see our dream through. Please don't miss me too much, and forgive me for doing this. The blade swung. After that, it was as though I was trying to study a painting through a net. What a shame, someone so young and bright. More pity. Why did everyone pity me? I knew what I was getting into. Oh. Also, gorgeous. Gorgeous text box. Gorgeous. Absolutely lovely. I love the chains. I love like the added detail around the sides. Beautiful. My head hurt. Walk forward. Ooh, is there on subsequent playthroughs, will there be more options? Probably not, right? I stepped forward. If I still had a body, I could not see it. I could only trust my footfalls would take me to a destination. The light grew
Is
brighter.
there no way to reconsider?
You forget that this is more in your power than mine. I've done what I could.
I
Oh
will
boy,
not
I'm
back
sorry, you
down.
cannot see my face. Arguing. Lots of arguing. I think it was about me. I wish someone would tell me what was going on. It's like someone is flipping pages of a book. My own life was but a chapter, like ink on a page long disintegrated. Faces along the way like new characters. A hand reached out to me. Are you sure you wish to do this? There will be a price to pay. I cannot help you. But what did I agree to? This was just a memory, wasn't it? Still, I could barely remember anything. My heart hurts. It hurts. It hurts. It hurts. Make it stop, please. I begged to any entity that would listen to me. My heart, no, entire being throbbed in pain for what felt like an eternity. Then, as sudden as it started, it was over. I was at peace. The loneliness never left me, but it was distant. The searing pain that tore my heart felt like a separate entity, as if it floated next to me. It was a dull ache that didn't consume me, but didn't leave me either. Was this what happened after death? Where am I going? I'm sleepy. Time was an endless stretch. All the voices that swirled in my head soon faded away. Sometimes the same memories visited me again and again. Each time they grew more distant, and then I finally fell into a dreamless state. I think I slept for a very long time. Wake up. There's some people waiting for you. Come on, follow me. Who are you? Come on, sleeping beauty. You can ask questions later. My eyes were still entirely bleary, but I regained enough control of my limbs to reach out to her. She took my hand. The warmth of her touch grounded me enough to walk forward and through another door. Chapter 1. Oh, look at the sheep. I just love the color scheme and just the design in general. This time I could feel everything. My feet were firmly planted on the ground. When I stretched out my hands, I could see them, every finger. I touched my neck to find it was still attached. A young woman guided me through a long hallway. She bade me to sit down. A few moments later, she handed me a drink. I believe this is coffee? I've mostly drank tea in my life, though. It is sweeter than I remember it, and quite chilly, too. How long has it been since something has passed my lips? Just a few days ago, but it feels like it's been a lifetime. Actually, no, several lifetimes. My head was pounding, so I focused on the drink to steady myself. Where am I, anyway? I heard loud footsteps and a raucous group approach me. Sounds of bickering and a few exasperated sighs reached my ears. While I have been in crowds aplenty, this one felt overbearing, more so than the last one I'd faced, and they pelted things at me. I haven't heard such noise in a century. Hello there. Hello, who are you? And where am I? What's happening?
Consider us your welcoming committee.
Welcoming committee? For what?
Congratulations, you're dead. Welcome to the afterlife.
I'm gonna go to the options again. Not to change anything. I just want to know. So are these all love interests? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I generally like 5 love interests because then I feel like it's a good number. It's a number I'm familiar with otome games. And when it goes above 5, one or more gets shafted in length or substance. Like, I generally don't even like Japanese otome games that have more than 5 characters, like love interests, because they're so short. The roots are so short. But, okay, just off first impressions, who do I like? Him. Maybe. He kind of looks like the playboy type, and that's not my favorite. Him without the glasses. I'm not a megane lover. Well, that was not very welcoming at all. I'm dead. Why was that surprising? My head got chopped off. All my memories after that were particularly fuzzy, but I recalled that much. I suppose these things take some time to get used to. I should be grateful that I was on my own 2 feet again. Wait, I knew that. Why are you so surprised then? I guess he doesn't have a voice actor yet. Well, I suppose I didn't know what to expect afterwards. Death is a shocking thing, you know. You had quite a while to get used to the whole idea. I have. How does one get used to being dead in a few days? Or it could have been longer. Ugh, this was a pain. I peered around them, hoping to see a door to heaven. Hopefully it was heaven. I know I did some bad things, but they wouldn't put me in hell, right? So, where are we going? The men all looked at each other. Which one of you will do the honors? Ugh, not me. I am not good with these things. Oh, he's really tall. I am not qualified to... Are you not the boss? Kaim? Kaim pretended not to hear this. How about we draw straws? If it's such a hassle to tell me where to go, then I'll go find someone else to tell me. Where is the nice woman who gave me the coffee? Lilia? Yeah, Lilia. Oof. That stumped me for a second. Am I crazy or is this music really loud? Okay. The bespectacled man was named... The bespectacled man named Kaim snorted. She's the last person you'd want to ask. You get a summary that tells you nothing you need to know and get yourself into trouble. Well, even more trouble. Oh no, they're sending me to hell, aren't they? I gulped. Oh, I'm in trouble? I have to go down there? The last part came out as a whisper, despite my attempts to keep my voice steady. I looked at the floor, expecting it to swallow me whole. Luckily for you, you escaped that fate. Oh, thank goodness. But there is a price and a punishment. His grin did not match his ominous tone. Oh. He doesn't seem very nice. Yeah, I don't really like the rude type, so I'm already retracting that one, possibly, because it depends on the rude type. Aries, you are frightening her. I believe we should begin with introductions. Look at you, doing a better job than our leader. I am not your leader, Zafan. You're the highest rank. I feel more like a father trying to rein in his troublesome brats. Thanks, Pops. Never knew what it's like to have a dad. Anyways.
I am Kaim Aster. It is a pleasure to finally meet you.
Finally? He held his hand out for a handshake. This is the proper human formality, correct? Human? Well, I usually curtsy. I quickly took it and mimicked his gesture, although it felt quite awkward as it was a gesture I witnessed mostly among knights. She's from an earlier time period, remember? Ah, yes. What?
Name's Zafan. Up top.
Oh, he does have a voice actor. I think, is this gonna be a game that's all partial? Let me check. Oh, I closed Kickstarter, my bad. So I'm just checking. The demo, okay, the full game will have... I don't think it's gonna be fully voiced. It doesn't even say that it's partially voiced right now on the Kickstarter. Oh, there are 5 routes. Okay. Oh wait, if Kickstarter stretch goals succeed, route count goes up to 6 and or 7, and I think they exceeded it. See, they did the 5 routes, but I think they're just gonna be spending more time to do the other 2. Or 1, I don't actually know. I don't actually know. Sorry for taking you out of the game. Okay, so I think there's only 1 other route coming, not 2. Okay. I can't find anything about voice acting. Actually, maybe I should just alt voice. I'm sorry. Sorry if you had to hear that. I think it's going to be partially voiced because not a lot of the expenses are going towards it. He raised a hand and I waved back at him. Don't mess with her already, you just said. Sorry. He interrupted and gave me a smooth wink. Was trying to give you a high five, didn't mean to confuse you. He ruffled my hair and stood back to pass the baton to the next man.
I am Valafar.
He bowed politely and I returned the gesture with a curtsy.
Aries.
He made no such movements and only nodded at me. Ouch, cold reception. You feeling shy? Hush. Nice to meet you too.
I am Sair, an angel.
Sair, okay. As if to prove it, he floated into the air for a few moments. What a show-off. Wow, a real angel. Don't tell me you're believing him so easily. I ignored him. Do you have wings and feathers? He hesitated for a moment before answering. Only on special occasions. They can get in the way. Wow, I want to see. Perhaps some other time. Reapers are cooler and we have powers too. His tone felt rather petulant. Wait a minute. The human comment from before stuck out. Are you all Reapers? Is it so shocking? You just believe that man is an angel. Thayer, I'm already forgetting, smiled at me serenely. Yes, well, I mean... I did not have a good answer, so I decided to ignore those statements altogether. So, if you're Reapers, are you the ones that brought me to the other side? Correct, although you have been on the other side for quite a while now. Do you not remember? I don't. Was it Lilia who got me? I just came through this door. She got you from Purgatory, but she doesn't do any reaping herself. You can say she's a bit of a complicated case. Oh? A story for another time. Come on, you two, stay on topic. Do you not remember your stay in Purgatory? I was in Purgatory? I did not recall this. Or wait, did I? All those voices, the people I saw on my way here. I thought I was hallucinating. Have you recalled? I'm afraid it's mostly a blur. I remember some voices, seeing some people pass by. I remember sitting on a bench under a tree, long paths. And I think I talked to people, sometimes.
Nothing more specific?
No, I'm sorry. For some reason he seemed agitated. I felt bad about having to disappoint him. What's gotten into you, Sair? You're usually the picture of serenity. How about we move to the lounge? He indicated with a jerk of his head at the curious onlookers. So I just want to have a look at this background. Looks good. Currently, only overtime workers are at the office, so we have this place to ourselves. What a strange area. I walked up to this giant box holding little round objects. What is this? A vending machine. That's where your coffee came from. You put your phone against the black part and you select with these buttons and it'll give you your drink. He demonstrated by getting himself a coffee just like mine. You see? Why does it look like your eyes are going to fall out of your head? Sorcery. It boggled my mind. How could a box know what you wanted? How could it return an object? Perhaps you can think on it another time. Yeah, we were talking about your time in Perk. What do you remember? Well, the last thing I really remember was getting my head chopped off. Aries winced. I remember it really hurt at the time, but it feels like that was so long ago. How long have I been dead for? Well, we must check the records. I'd say 300 years. That long? The guys flinched at the sudden increase in volume. Sorry. No wonder it feels many lifetimes away. I really feel like I've aged. Sorry, I'm just curious if she still has voice acting or not. Despite your loss in memory. I nodded. She doesn't. Okay. Yes, I know only bits and pieces, but I feel something weighing down my heart. Maybe over time I can remember why I feel this way.
It is peculiar that you remember your human life, yet not your time in the afterlife. Usually it is in reverse.
You're just a weird one. Thanks. Now, that simply livens things up all the more. I suppose it is up to me to explain why you're here, what you must do, and where you shall go. You have served most of your sentence in Purgatory, however, you are to work indefinitely as a Reaper until some conditions are satisfied. What are those conditions? I cannot say. Why not? Curiosity killed the cat. And satisfaction brought it back. Aries rolled his eyes and turned away. I laughed to myself. It was banter that I often used to have with my best friend. Of course, Aries did not seem to be as willing a partner. Wait, my best friend Felix. If 300 years had passed, then that meant he was gone too now. No matter what he did, he was my closest friend. He was my other half. But there were more pressing matters at hand, so I would have to wallow in my sorrow later. I cannot tell you the conditions because I do not know. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So all of these are the love interests. And then someone called Malthus is the 6th one. You are to serve your sentence until the powers above have decided otherwise.
I thought you guys are the powers above.
I still don't like it. I'm sorry. We're the powers below, except Sayer, who is technically from above, but he doesn't have much weight either.
'Tis true. The powers above are much higher than I am.
So if we are below, this is hell? No, you were spared from that, remember? Keep up.
And hell doesn't have coffee.
Oh god, how do you say his name again? Valfar? Valfar? I don't know. Nodded sagely. What exactly is my sentence for? Have I been that bad? The men all exchanged myriad expressions with each other. Yes, you took the fall for an evil, evil man and helped him along the way. I could not deny that. Although he was doing some bad things, I did not find him evil in the slightest. This did not seem to be the time to contest that. And the results were catastrophic, almost world-ending, a calamity beyond all disasters. Yes, thank you, we get the message. Hold on, I thought things would get better if I... Oh no, miss. Frankly speaking, everything went to shit. You sacrificed yourself for the crimes of that man. In turn, he ravaged the world. What? That was the last thing I could have ever expected to hear. Angered by your death, he decided to wage war across the country, as well as the neighboring lands. What? What did you expect? He was a wrathful man. You witnessed that before your death as well, correct? It was justified. We wanted to change the country. Well, you changed it, all right. I meant for the better, not for the worse. What happened? You enabled a terrible man, even before your misguided martyrdom. You encouraged him in his sins. All right, I understand. This is because I was his partner, right? The powers above decided that enablement of a sinner is also a sin, especially in this case of your final act. Hundreds and thousands of lives were forfeit. Yours truly had to be involved too. Zafam pointed at himself with a grim expression. We can come back to that later. Valafar, I'm just calling Valafar because I don't remember, cut him off before he could begin his tale. Deflated, Zafam pouted but did not protest. All because of what he did? No, that's not entirely true. Oh? You're right, I did enable him. Instead of telling to rein himself in, I encouraged him. But I thought he knew best, so I never disagreed with him. I just aided him in the pursuit of our goals. I thought if I limited myself to a certain extent, my hands wouldn't be dirtied, but if he was the one to administer the poison, then I was the one that brewed it. And if I could give my life for him to continue on his path, our path, then it would all be okay. I had gladly done so in the end. I rubbed my neck where the axe had fallen. I should have seen it all coming. If it makes you feel better, you weren't the only one punished. There are others who suffered, greatly. It doesn't make me feel better at all. That just makes it worse. I'm not some cruel person, or I hope I'm not. At least you aren't going to go to hell, so long as you fulfill your work. And what if I don't want to?
Hell is not a fun place. Do you want a taste of it?
That's where that bastard went, your disgusting friend. His eyes narrowed, and for a moment I could see the flames of hell in his pupils. No, that's okay. So Felix ended up there. All we did was for nothing. His choices after my passing were ultimately his own, but was it my fault? I was the catalyst, wasn't I? Maybe I should go down there after all. As if he could read my thoughts, Kaim gently put a hand on my shoulder. Aries. He rebuked the sharp man while giving my shoulder a comforting squeeze. He didn't apologize, making Kaim sigh, but he didn't press the matter. Just know that your sentencing is beyond our power. Of Apologies if you feel wronged, but this is how it is in the afterlife. I wish there was a way I could appeal it. I mean, I've already been in purgatory, right? Correct. Although you didn't have too much to purge, so you've been sleeping for most of your duration there. What do you mean? Well, thanks to you and your friend turned tyrant king, there was a lot on everyone's agendas. So you slipped our radar. What's a radar? Think of it as something that escaped everyone's notice for now. Man, I really left you sleeping too long. So I was forgotten. Our apologies. There was an awkward moment of silence. I definitely could tell there were things they weren't telling me. But in truth, I needed time to process all this. I nodded along as though I understood all they told me, but I felt that it had yet to sink in. You should get some rest. It was as if he had read my mind. Ah yes, while you had quite the slumber, I believe you do need some time to think. We set up a cool room just for you. You knew I'd be coming. We are your welcoming committee after all. Of course we had to do some preparation. And Lilia helped. She said our taste sucks. Oh, well, I'll be sure to thank her. They said she's lazy and troublesome, but the girl's been nice to me so far. Although this coffee is cold, the warmth it gave my heart was something I felt nostalgic for. I held onto it tightly as we exited the office and made for the place that would be my new home.